All right, so here we are. It has been a while since I did a video where I was going to open some sealed games. I have been sitting on quite a few, including 3 that I've been sitting on since December of 2022, which is now almost 6 months ago. And I've been really meaning to open these up. And the reason for that is because I got myself an original Xbox for an early Christmas present for myself. You can see the controller right here. I have the Xbox over here off to my right, hooked up to my GX TV, which is just behind me. And I have accumulated quite the library of original Xbox games. You see some of them behind me. A lot of sports games. You know that I'm a big retro or older sports video game fan. I also have 2 piles over here in front of me. But these 3 games have been sitting, waiting for me to open them so I can go ahead and play them. And I'm excited to try them out. I'm not going to be able to try them out on camera per se, but I'm going to be able to talk about them and why they're important to me and to my library. So let me go ahead and get started before I waste any more time and talk about the first one, which is Midway Arcade Treasures number 3. This is a set of racing games from the arcade. There are 8 of them here. This is not the best of the 3 Midway Arcade Treasures discs, in my opinion. The best one, it's a toss-up between 1 and 2. 1 is great because of the sheer number of games that's available, whereas 2 is great because of the quality of games that are there, such as Mortal Kombat 2 and Mortal Kombat 3. Arch Rivals is on there and a few others. This is all about racing right here. We have San Francisco Rush, the Alcatraz edition, or the Rock Alcatraz edition, Hydro Thunder, and it's the Dreamcast version of Hydro Thunder that's on here. Super Off-Road is here, Badlands is here, Race Driving, Stun Runner, San Francisco Rush 2049, which is another Dreamcast port or conversion, and Off-Road Thunder. So this is what the back of the case looks like. Now, I am a big Midway Arcade guy. I've talked about Midway Arcade games on Twitter and on Instagram before. I love collecting these. This is the last one of the Midway Arcade Treasures discs that I did not have for the original Xbox here. And it is sealed, as you can see here. We have the plastic and we have the ID label, where unlike the PS2 games, it's now on the opening here. So we're going to go ahead. Got my trusty scissors here, and we're going to go ahead. We're going to open this, and I think I should do this left-handed here. So we're going to just kind of pop that open. There we go. Put that there, and we'll go ahead and we'll take the wrapping off. I have not done this on camera in gosh knows how long. There we go. Remove that plastic wrap. We keep the side steel on there because it doesn't really hurt anything. You do have to remove the bottom. There we go. And when we open this, and I'm going to do this like this just because I'm worried the disc may come out. Thankfully, it doesn't. So here's what we have on the inside. We have the Midway Arcade Treasures disc over here. We have the Midway warranty card. We'll take that out of there. And we have the instruction manual too. So I'm going to just show you real quick what the warranty card looks like. Why not, right? It is a very basic warranty card. I think that if I sent this to San Diego, California now, it would probably be returned to sender. And I'm not going to spend 30 cents or 40 cents or whatever a stamp is to find out. And here we would go ahead and enter our information, our name, our address. We would answer a series of questions, the questions that are here. When did you hear about this game, or how did you hear about it? When did you buy it? What systems do you own? That one's always a fun one to talk about. Game Boy Advance, Nintendo GameCube, Nintendo DS, PS2, PSP, Xbox, Xbox 360. So we're already the Xbox 360 point by the time this was minted. What systems do you plan to purchase? What types of games do you buy? And which of the following video game magazines do you read? I love reading these. Check this out. GamePro, EGM, Tips and Tricks. So Reddit. Nintendo Power, PSM, official Xbox magazine, official PlayStation magazine. So far I've read all of those. I was either subscribed to or I bought those all off the newsstand. PC Gamer, not my thing because I wasn't a PC gamer at the time. WWE magazine. What do we got? Spin, Game Informer, Maxim. Oh boy. That's a little creepy. FHM, Extreme Sports, Sports Illustrated, and others. So that's an example of what this index card or this warranty card would be like. And again, we'll kind of spin the disc around just so you can kind of see the basic box art. The Xbox games I always thought were a little bit of a pain to take out because they're nice and solid in the tray. And we'll take a look at the manual. I don't think the manual here has anything major to write home about. As a matter of fact, I think it's all black and white. It is. But what the manual does do is it walks you through all the games that it has. So we have the play controls for Hydro Thunder here. Again, this is a port of the Dreamcast version, which was an imperfect conversion of the coin-op. It was close enough. I certainly liked it back in 1999, but this is nowhere like the actual arcade game. We also have, I just want to make sure that's the first one on the list here. I think it is. Yeah. So Hydro Thunder is first. Then Rush 2049, another Dreamcast conversion. The Dreamcast and I think the N64 got versions of this game. The original PlayStation did not get that. We also have Off-Road Thunder here. Haven't played that one much. I really don't have much to comment on there. Rush the Rock and Stun Runner. These are direct from the arcades. Stun Runner I played a little bit. Rush the Rock I think I played a little bit more than that, but still not very often. We also have Badlands and Race Driving. And I think that's it. I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh yeah, Super Off-Road is here too. Super Off-Road, a fun game in and of itself. Plus you get the Super Off-Road track pack too. So quite a bit. And this, if I look right, this is also a Digital Eclipse offering. Digital Eclipse, of course, most recently the masterminds behind Atari 50, which is a fantastic compilation if you don't have it yet. Also behind the SNK compilation. They also did the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Cowabunga collection. They've been really busy. I keep hearing rumors that they're working on something very big right now as I say this. But of course, they're not at liberty to tell us what it is just yet. So I'm excited to find out what else in terms of history that they work on. But Digital Eclipse is behind a lot of these compilation discs, which is why I'm such a big fan of the company. Let's see. I want to see what the names are here. Just a few credits for Digital Eclipse here. No one that I recognize, though, but that's okay. So that's Midway Arcade Treasures 3. Again, it's the weakest of the three Midway Arcade Treasures games. However, if you have the first two, it just makes sense to go ahead and pick up the third. And this is the cheapest of the three games that I'll be opening today if you're interested in grabbing it. All right, game number 2. This is the most expensive of the three. In fact, this game on price charting is going over $60 right now. So opening it on camera is probably a little questionable, but it's a game that I really want to play. A little bit of background. I like the arcade style flight combat games like the Air Combat, Ace Combat games, and I've talked about those before. As a matter of fact, I've opened the 3 Ace Combat games for the PS2 on this very channel in the past, like years ago now. Air Force Delta is a game that came out for the Dreamcast at launch, and I liked it a lot. However, Air Force Delta Storm for the PlayStation 2 was kind of and I screwed that up. It's not Air Force Delta Storm. That's actually the game I'm going to open now. It was gosh, I forget even the title. I actually opened it on camera and I forget what it is now. Didn't do my homework, but in any case, we're going to open Air Force Delta Storm right now. This is still sealed. And this particular game is really the first sequel to Air Force Delta. The PlayStation 2 game came out later than this. It was kind of like a reboot for the series. It was a bit different, a lot more talking going on, a bit more story. This is more the direct sequel. Strap into your cockpit and blast through the gut-wrenching world of flight combat. Your adrenaline pumps as machine gun fire pelts off your tail. You execute back-breaking barrel rolls and experience dogfighting action. Take your pick of over 70 planes. That's a huge list, including military fighters rendered from actual aircraft. With a full range of extreme missions to numb your senses, Air Force Delta Storm pushes your Xbox to the sky. This, I believe, was an Xbox launch game. This is what the back of the case looks like. You can see the screenshots look pretty good, at least in terms of what I think. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to open this up and see what is on the inside. So I got my trusty scissors here. Again, in order for me to do this right, I have to do this left-handed. So that's always fun. So let's go ahead and get that open. There we go. We will take the... Oh, nope, that did not open. Hang on a second. Do this. There we go. There's that satisfying snap. We'll go ahead and we'll take this off of here and just take the top right off. We'll open this up. Just got to be careful. Oh, good. This hasn't broken or anything. So when we open it up, this is what we have on the inside. We have the instruction manual that we'll look at in just a moment, and the disc. The disc is almost a carbon copy of the front cover and of the instruction manual. Not the most creative, but that's okay. So I'll put this over here. This is what the manual looks like. Here's the photo from the back. Love these flight combat games. They're a lot of fun. I don't like them to be overly simulated. I like to just be in the sky and shoot down other aircraft and get into dogfights. And that's kind of what Air Force Delta is. It's not quite as tight a controlled game as the Ace Combat games are, but it's still pretty enjoyable, at least in my opinion. This is actually in full color, which I really like. Now, this shows, because it's a launch title, it shows the Duke controller, which I don't have. I have the controller S, which I think is the better controller, but your opinion may differ. So the year is 20XI AD. Again, these aircraft look really, really cool here. At the end of the 20th century, the analysis of the human genome was completed. Boy, this sounds like something right out of Metal Gear. Leading to the great advances from humankind, including the ability to cure even the most severe diseases. Lifespans lengthened. For a brief time, the Earth was like the Garden of Eden. However, the exploding population soon depleted the world's resources and serious food shortages began appearing. In one country where shortages of food and fuel cause mass starvation, a coup d'etat occurs. That's usually the backbone for these kind of games. There's some kind of rebel force that overthrows the government, and then you have to put down that rebellion and save the world from extinction. That's usually the way these go. The new revolutionary government declares the birth of the United Front, an organization dedicated to the equal division of all the Earth's resources. The ideology of sharing all humankind's resources was supported by countries who lacked resources, and nearly all of those countries declared their allegiance to the cause. United Front gathered an army that came to be known as the United Forces. Initially, it made great advances, but then countries possessing abundant resources formed another alliance to protect themselves. Soon, all countries were swept up into the conflict, and the world became polarized between those who possessed material resources and those who were facing starvation. It was not long before the war of words turned into one of bombs and missiles. And now, in the year 20X1, on the Alexei Peninsula, the struggle between the two sides has taken a new turn. Love that. Not sure that the story needs to be that complicated, but that's fine. So again, we have our layout for novice, expert, and ace controls. I would be using novice controls. I admit it. I am not big on difficulty. I just want to breeze through games and have a good time. So it talks about the HUD, what this game screen looks like, and what the inside of the cockpit looks like, which I think is pretty nifty. You do have a view from outside the plane if you so choose. I choose the no HUD version where it's just you kind of inside the plane but no window, so you can see your environment and the other planes pretty clearly. What else do we have here? Warnings and status messages, rules. Missions result in failure if your damage gauge reaches 0, if you crash your craft, or if you leave the area of operation. That makes sense. Starting the game, 3D battle screen. And again, this is all in color. I mean, I could go through all, what is this, almost 40 pages, 30 plus pages. I'll be interested to see if they don't credit actual aircraft. That's interesting. I wonder if there are licensed aircraft in the game. They're right here. So we have the Su-23U Furnace, the F-120C Night Camel, the FA-18C Hornet. That one's a real one for sure. The F-14D Tomcat. Hello, Top Gun. The FA-24A Acorn and F-25C Warbler. The F-15E Strike Eagle. There have been games made on that about that very aircraft. And the Su-27 Flanker, which is a really cool plane. Some more planes here too. So there are definitely some real aircraft in the game. And I'll be looking forward to putting this through its paces for sure. It's not as good as Ace Combat. It will never be as good as Ace Combat. As a matter of fact, I'm spending some time going back through Ace Combat 7 on the Xbox Series X, but I'm definitely going to be sinking my teeth into this game before long as well. And I loved the original Air Force Delta for the Dreamcast. When when the Funko Land that I was working at in 1999 got their demo model Dreamcast, we received 3 games to demonstrate for it. We got Sonic Adventure, which I was able to play all the way through and beat before the system even came out, which meant that when I bought Sonic Adventure on launch day, I'd already beaten it, and it really didn't make much sense, but I wanted to have it anyway. Blue Stinger, which is a survival horror game, a rather goofy one at that. And Air Force Delta, which I thought was cool. Again, having liked Air Combat and Ace Combat 2, Air Force Delta certainly made sense for me to get and was one of the launch titles for the Dreamcast that I did pick up. So it's not surprising that I would want to add this to my collection. Again, this being a launch game for the original Xbox, this was released in November of 2001. The game is now 22 years old, almost 21 and a half years old, let's say. So I am looking forward to checking this out very, very soon. Okay, one game left, and this is the one that I have been most excited to open because, well, I tried to buy it once before. I tried to buy a used copy of this from an online video game store, and they sent it to me, but it had the wrong disc in it. It didn't have that game. It had Mech Assault instead. So I was looking around online, and I happened to find a brand new copy of this that was at a good price, and I wanted to have it. So here it is. The biggest deal for me of the 3 games that I'm opening this time around. This is Tron 2.0 Killer App. And even the Xbox magazine says the Xbox needs more games like this. Coded for war, compiled for victory. This is a cool idea. Now, I have not played this. I don't know a lot about it. But the thing that turned me on to the game, and you really can't see it because my autofocus is a little wonky on this camera, but I'll kind of get it close enough. Like Breaking Benjamin does the soundtrack for this, or it provides music from a couple of albums for this. And being my favorite band, I had to have this just so I could hear the music. It's the same reason that I have Halo 2, even though I'm really bad at Halo games, because there is a Breaking Benjamin track toward the end of that game. So this is one that I thought that I needed to have. So reading the back of the box says, prepare for action-packed battle as you're digitized inside a world of a war-ravaged computer system on the verge of collapse from a seemingly unstoppable army of corrupt programs led by the evil Thorn. Only a human user inside the computer world armed with an arsenal of powerful digital weapons and vehicles can even the odds and stop the corruption from spreading. I am having trouble talking tonight, it seems. Experience more than 60 levels of award-winning single-player action, command an arsenal of 16 high-impact weapons, including the powerful disc, digital grenades, and cyber sniper rifles. Say that 3 times fast. Battle up to 16 digital warriors over 10 amazing maps on Xbox Live and Link Play. Take on 6 types of multiplayer combat, so you can play either solo, which I will do, or a multiplayer, which unfortunately Xbox Live is not a thing anymore for the original Xbox, which is too bad. So the voices of Rebecca Romaine Stamos and Bruce Bottleghter are in the game. Music by Breaking Benjamin is here. A new light cycle design by Sid Mead. And you can see the light cycle there. Oh, there. There we go. So let's go ahead and get this opened up, shall we? This is the last of the 3 games. Again, this is the one I'm most excited about, just to see what's in there. There we go. Let's take the plastic off of here. And when we open up the case, there we go. So we have a few things in here. We have the disc. We have the warranty card, which I will take out for right now. And we have the manual, which looks pretty much like the front of the case. The warranty card is for Buena Vista Interactive, which is also Disney. Let's see, game purchased, it already says that for us. Do you subscribe to Xbox Live? That was kind of a thing. Did you play the Tron 2.0 PC game? No, I have not done that. I probably should watch that on YouTube, I guess, at some point. But anyway, let's take out the instruction manual. This is a thick manual. The Chronicles of Narnia, coming holiday of 2005. Okay. This is a full color manual that's over 50 pages in length. The reason that's 50 pages in length is because it's split in 2. It is both in English and in French. And you can tell this is newer here because the controller S is the one that's spotlighted and not the Duke controller. See if it really doesn't give you a heck of a lot in terms of background. It does give you a quick introduction, which is here. Coded for war, compiled for victory, prepare for action-packed battle as you're digitized into the world of a war-ravaged computer system on the verge of collapse from a seemingly unstoppable army of corrupt programs led by the evil Thorn. So it basically says what it said on the back of the case. Starting a single-player game, multiplayer game, and then like just a bunch of text here. It's all pretty small. You can see the screenshot there. There doesn't seem to be a lot of screenshots here. It's pretty kind of small, like a subroutine menu there. Code optimization where, boy, I'm going to have a good time trying to figure this out. And yeah, single player light cycle. Oh, that's cool. Look at this. That looks pretty awesome. Now, I don't know whether it's going to look like that in game. I'll have to find out, but you can brace a light cycle. That's pretty cool, I think. And there's even circuit play. That's pretty awesome, actually. But it doesn't say anything. It doesn't give you any credits about the voice acting in the game or about which music tracks are in the game. But that's okay. So now I have these original Xbox games to open. Now that they're open, I should say, now I can play and enjoy them. I still am sitting on quite a few PS2 games and a few GameCube games, and even a Nintendo DS game that I want to get around to opening at some point in the future. As you can see, some of the boxes behind me, I am shrinking down my collection a little bit. I am moving my original Nintendo games and Super Nintendo games and Genesis games. I am looking to sell / trade those, hopefully sell those. Summertime for a teacher is always the time where there's no money. So I'm hoping to get some money for that and kind of help me get through the summer until the next school year starts. But I'm also really honing my collecting on generations 5 and 6. So generation 5 is original PlayStation and N64. I really don't have any interest in collecting for the Saturn, plus it's really expensive. And then generation 6 being PS2, original Xbox, and GameCube. So I'm really focusing on those 5 things. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Genesis, while it was fun to collect for those, the cartridges take a lot of room. The market's also hot for those games right now. So knowing that I really don't play those as much, it makes sense to try and move those. So that's what the boxes are. I'm going to be looking to move those so I can store these original Xbox games in better shape behind me, put those in my closet, which you can see off camera. So it'll be easier for me to get to and talk about in the future, whether it is on YouTube or whether it's writing about it on my website. I haven't really decided which one of those I'm going to do. So it has been a while. I'm a bit rusty. I do thank you very much for watching, those of you who did tune in to check out me opening some more sealed games. I know that that tends to irritate some people in the collecting community, but these are games that I did not own, that I've been looking forward to playing, that I've been sitting on for a while, and now I'm actually going to be the first person to put those in a system and to play them after they've been locked away in plastic for between 20 years and 15 to 20 years. It'll be nice to go ahead and play those for the first time. So thanks for watching, everybody. Might do another one of these soon. I'm not sure. But until the next time, take care of yourselves and each other. See ya.